رمضان كريم وأهلا وسهلا فيكم بحلقة جديدة من برنامجكم الأسبوعي بدازل. معكم رؤى وخلونا نبدأ الحلقة فوراً. الاكسبو أمتعنا على مدار 6 أشهر بعروض مختلفة واحتفاليات وإبهار من نوع تاني، والعالم طبعاً اللي عايشين بالإمارات أو العالم من مختلف أنحاء العالم كانوا عم يجوا مخصوص لحتى يزوروا الاكسبو، وكانوا أوقات يزوروه مرة ومرتين وثلاثة وما يملوا. وطبعاً كيف لا ورح نتوقع إنه يكون حفل الختام كان كمان إبهار من نوع آخر. خلونا نشوف مع بعض كيف كان حفل الختام للاكسبو.
The greatest show on earth came to a close in a star-studded ceremony. Celebrations that ran through the night saw fireworks illuminate the sky above the Expo 2020 Dubai site and global stars taking to the stage below. Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, the UAE Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence and Commissioner General of Expo 2020 Dubai, addressed the crowd at the World Fair's closing ceremony. The ceremony featured a final rendition of Expo's theme song, This Is Our Time, as well as musical performances by the Firdaus Orchestra, Christina Aguilera, Norah Jones and Yo-Yo Ma. The Expo baton was also handed over to Japan, which will host the next World Fair in Osaka in 2022. After 6 historic months, Meera, the young Emirati girl from the opening ceremony, took the audience on another compelling journey. Over the past 182 days, she has grown, learned, and connected with people from all around the world. Stunning fireworks enthralled visitors at the Expo 2020. Numerous people were seen lifting their phones towards the skies to capture some of the most memorable moments of the mega fair. Expo 2020 Dubai's closing ceremony was just as iconic as its opening show.
in the park، يعني فن بالطبيعة أو بالحديقة، وهذا الشيء ابتدى أو عملته الاندكس مول. هو عبارة عن لفتة كتير حلوة، بما أنه دبي معروفة ومشهورة باستضافتها لمعارض وأعمال فنية كتير لأشهر الفنانين، فكان هذا المعرض أو خلينا نقول اللفتة هدفها أنه نجمع الفن بالطبيعة. وكيف رح لا حيكون مزيج أكثر من رائع، وكان كثير من الهواة ومن الفنانين اللي اجتمعوا لحتى يفرجونا ويفرجوا العالم إبداعاتهم. وواحدة من اللقاءات كانت مع شاب اسمه روشان، عنده مشكلة بالسمع بس إيديه بتحكي أكثر من مليون كلمة. خلونا نتعرف أكثر على الآرت إمبارك بهذا الريبورتاج. راح قصيرة ونرجع نكفي. على مدار الحلقات الماضية كنا عم نعرض لكم عن الراقصون عبر الحدود وكيف إبداعاتهم وكيف عم يحاولوا الرقص ويتجولوا بمختلف أنحاء العالم وخاصة بمختلف أنحاء الهند. خلونا نشوف كيف كانت جولتهم بكيرلا.
I'd really like to appreciate the dedication and professionalism of our respected guru, Miss Naina Tharoor, with which she runs the whole show. She always helps the students to explore their passion and eventually lift the quality of their dance and performance. I'm extremely proud to be part of this team and looking forward to travel around the world season 3 with DAP.
وهلأ خلونا نروح لبريك ونرجع نكفي الحلقة سوا. وصلنا لفقرتي المفضلة وهي كيف نحرق السعرات الحرارية ونفقد وزن عن طريق استخدام قوة نحن ما بنعرفها. المتعارف عليه انه بنروح على جهاز الجري او بالجيم او بنعمل دايت لحتى نخسر الوزن. خلونا نشوف كيف نستخدم قدراتنا الذهنية مع فيديو، وخاصة انه رح تستضيف خبير بالطاقة. خلونا نشوف ونتعرف اكثر على هالموضوع.
Hello everyone. So today we are going to meet Shetal Patel. By profession, she is a technology audit head for a multinational with over 24 years of corporate experience. But that's not the reason why she's our guest today. She, most importantly, is an energy healer with almost 10 years of healing experience. Welcome Shetal to Dazzled.
Hey Vidya, how are you?
I'm good. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your expertise with us. So as you know, I work with clients with weight reduction where I focus on the power of the mind. But I know from my own experience that how we all have an energy body and how energetically we are affected, and that leads to weight issues too. So we would love to hear some insights on energy healing. So what is energy healing? Can you explain to us?
As the name says, it is healing the energy. As you said, we have energy around us, within us, and when there is some kind of an imbalance on the energy, it affects our health, our weight, our well-being. With energy healing, we restore the balance, remove any negative energies, and infuse positive energies from the surrounding and the universe.
So yeah, as you talked about energy healing and you explained to us, I'm more curious to know, how do you actually use energy to help people with weight issues?
What happens is when there are multiple factors that affect us, physical, mental, emotional, environmental in today's life, they impact our well-being, and it can result in lower energy levels, which may push us into addictions, excessive eating, laziness, or even just mental blocks. For some reason, we're stuck. And that can result in weight gain and other factors, hormonal imbalances, low metabolism, which are beyond our control. If we could have done it, we would have. And that's where energy healing comes in to help us feel unstuck.
Absolutely, I totally agree to that. That's what I tell all my clients when they come to me. They say I've tried all sorts of things. I said, that's the reason you're here, because when other things don't work, that's where the power of the mind is.
Exactly.
And definitely it helps with the energy body too. So what happens in the typically in a session?
What I do is I use a three-pronged approach with my clients. The first step is for me to get to know my client, to understand who they are, what they do, and most importantly, how they got where they are right now. Once we do that, we then move into a short meditation where I guide them to reconnect with themselves, to know more. And a lot of times, we just lose who we are in the whole journey of life.
Absolutely.
So that's the first step. We connect with ourselves. We also see the mistakes we made, and we help forgive ourselves for that and build up our energies so that we're receptive to the healing, which is the third step, where I will use my hands, crystals, prayers, and the energy from the universe to first of all remove the blockages wherever the client feels stuck, any obstacles, any obsessions, addictions that they may have. Once all of that is out of the way, I would infuse their respective energy centers with the right energy, giving them stronger willpower, increasing their metabolism, and giving them a much needed energy boost to get on with their healthy weight journey.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. To me, it sounds like, it's like a garbage thing. You first remove all the garbage and then you bring in all the divine energy and create a good energy for your growth.
That's very true. As my teacher, Grandmaster Chokok Sui, has told us, before you pour coffee into a cup, you have to clean the cup and then you pour fresh coffee. Exactly how it works.
Absolutely. I really love the way there are different modalities, right? Our clients are the same, but there's so similar techniques. So we do the same thing in RTT where we remove the old beliefs and then we give in the new beliefs.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that the viewers would have really got a lot of insights into energy healing. And just one last advice from you before we go away. What do you think is a requirement for somebody to approach you for energy healing?
Only one requirement? Actually two, sorry. Number one, come with an open mind and a smile.
Oh yeah, I love that, and that's what I tell my clients too, right? Be open, be receptive, and I believe it works because it definitely works.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shweta, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on, Vidya. It was a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
وما فينا نختم الحلقة مثل ما عودناكم بدون سنتوش وبدون الفقرة الفنية. خلونا نتعرف على آخر الإصدارات اللي صارت بالسينما وبالأو تي تي وشو لازم نحضر وشو لازم ما نحضر.
Hello everyone, you are watching Santosh Kumar on Watch Me If You Can on Be Dazzled, only on B4U. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest film of 2022, the magnum opus RRR. So let's talk about what is RRR. Rise, roar, revolt. After Bahubali, the expectations were sky high कि राजमौली आएंगे, कुछ कमाल करेंगे, India's biggest film बनाएंगे, और बिल्कुल ऐसा ही हुआ. The father-son combo, which is Vijayendra Prasad and Rajamouli, it's fantastic. It's not about the story itself, it is about how the story is told. The conviction of the writer and the vision of the director comes together in this wonderful film. So this is one of those rare films जिसमें heroine का बिल्कुल काम नहीं है. The two leading men, which is NTR Jr. and Ram Charan, Chiranjeevi का बेटा, and of course Rajamouli sir himself as the director. इन दोनों के मजबूत कंधों पे ये फिल्म टिकी हुई है. हीरोइन का कोई स्कोप नहीं है. Alia Bhatt is there for 4 scenes. Why did she do this role is questionable, but she wanted to work with Rajamouli and vice versa. It was about pan-India acceptance. Ajay Devgan plays a brief role. He has a longer screen time in comparison to Alia Bhatt. But what is the story about? चलो story पे आते हैं. It is about a tribal Gond tribe का एक आदमी है जो अपने ही tribe की एक बच्ची जो British उठा के लेके जाते हैं. So the film is set in the British era. The British take this girl, they buy her for £2, and the idea is slavery, of course, because it's set in the British era. And this tribal Bhim, his job is to rescue this girl from the British. So he changes disguise. He's moonlighting as Akhtar, and he is very close to the British cantonment. And then there is this fierce police officer, Raju, played by Ram Charan, of course. But इन दोनों की दोस्ती हो जाती है, and they don't know each other's real identity. That's what the essentially film is about. Like I said, story कुछ खास नहीं है, but it is a cinematic experience that Rajamouli offers for 3 hours, and sans great songs and sans a heroine. And if the film still works, that's the magic that they weave on screen. There is one particular mention about the film is that both the characters, Rama Raju and Bhim, they are actual real characters in history, in Indian history. अगर आप सर्च करेंगे इंटरनेट पे, तो एक fictional कहानी बनाना based on 2 real people and them coming together on screen is no short of genius. So master stroke by Rajamouli sir. So yeah, go watch it in the nearest cinema. Also playing in cinemas is Attack Part 1. So Attack is a production by John Abraham, also stars John Abraham, and is directed by debutant Lakshay Raj Anand. ये कौन है मुझे भी पता नहीं, but इसके बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. So what has John brought onto the film is that he's written the story himself and he's produced it himself. This is India's first Marvel-esque superhero, if you may, Indian answer to Captain America, if you want to call that. So what is the story about? It's about an army officer, John Abraham, Arjun, who comes home. He is on a flight. He meets this girl, Jacqueline Fernandez, and they decide to get together. And while he comes out of the airport, there is a terrorist attack. Jacqueline gets killed in the bargain. John is paralyzed. He goes to the hospital. But then what happens is, India is fed up of all these terrorist attacks. They want to strike back. So what they do, they have a super soldier program, which is helmed by Rakulpreet Singh, who's a scientist, who has designed a program like this for based on AI, artificial intelligence, for people who are paralyzed or waist below, or have other ailments where they can't move their arms or legs. But what the intelligence officer, Prakash Raj, he sort of involves this program to create India's first super soldier. So he's on serums, he's on chips, and these sensors help John Abraham's character Arjun to accelerate the growth and the strength in his body. And just like Marvel, just like Tony Stark's Jarvis, we have Era that constantly speaks to Arjun's character. So it is a wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful film. The direction could have been much better. The climax is so rushed that you wonder कि भाई थोड़ा अच्छा कर देता तो क्या जाता तेरा, particularly because it's part 1 and you're expecting a part 2 to come. But just go and watch it for the novelty factor. The action sequences are fantastic. It is just under 2 hours runtime. So go watch it in the cinema near you. I'll see you all next week. This is Santosh saying bye. Watch me if you can.
ولهون بتكون خلصت حلقتنا لهالاسبوع، بس موعدنا بيتجدد الاسبوع الجاي بنفس الموعد. كونوا كتار، مع السلامه.